Today we're going to do 9-4 multiplying special cases, and we actually have 3 of them here today. Here's 2 of them. The first one, you'll notice we have an a plus b, and that quantity is being squared. And then the second one, we have a minus b, that quantity is being squared. Now these two are very similar. There's only one difference: plus, minus. And then over here in your answer, you have a plus and a minus. So if you were actually to distribute this out, so really what a plus b squared means is that you have 2 quantities, a plus b and a plus b. If you did like what we did in our last lesson, where you used distributive property and you went a times a, that would give you a squared. And then you distribute here, that would give you ab. Your insides, so we're doing the FOIL method, give you another AB, and then outside here, your last would give you B squared. Then you would have to combine your middle terms, that give you A squared. There are 2 ABs, which is what we started off with our initial rule there. Now, using letters like this may be a little bit more complicated. When we get down to actually doing some examples with numbers, it may be a little bit more clear. But the same procedure, if you would do this with the minus sign, you would find in the middle here, if you go ahead and distribute that out, you get an a squared. You would get, an ab there, and another minus ab here. And then when you combine this, that would give you your minus 2ab. So why do we have this? Why are these called special cases? Well, it's a rule that you can kind of do in your head. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you the procedure that I go through when I do these type of problems. So the first thing that you want to notice is that you have one quantity and it's being squared. So the trick of this is taking your first term and squaring that. So it's just going to have x squared. Then I go and I do the last term and I square that. So that's going to be a plus 49, because 7 times 7 is 49. So here's the trick. So you're taking 2 times AB. This you're going to combine. So you're going to combine an x and a 7. Essentially you're multiplying that together. So that gives you 7x. And then you double it. So you take 2 times that. So it gives you 14. There's your answer. Now if you don't like this method, there's really nothing a matter with actually writing it out and then using the FOIL method or just distributive property. It's going to take you just a little bit longer to do, but you're still going to get the same answer. The rule here in the multiplying special cases just gives you another little trick to maybe help you do the problem a little more quickly. Otherwise, when you write it out like this, then you can see that you still get the same answer. It just takes a little bit longer. Next example, you have a 4k minus 3, and that whole thing is being squared. So if we use the trick, you're going to take your 4k and you're going to square that. So 4 squared is 16. K squared, k squared. Your last term is a minus 3, so if you square minus 3, that will give you a plus 9. Then if you combine these, so multiply 4 and 3, it's going to give you 12, and it's actually going to give you a negative 12, so negative 12k, and then you double that. So negative 12 doubled, negative 24. And if you would like to actually write this out like this example here, you could do that. It's just going to give you the little bit longer step to get the final answer. Next one, we're going to take our 5y, going to square that. So 5 squared is 25. Y squared, you're going to square 1, which is 1. You're going to combine those. That's going to be 5y. Double it. Double 5 is 10. There's your answer. And once you do more practice problems like this, you'll get better at it. You'll get used to doing this. You'll get used to recognizing that this is a special case type problem, and then you'll be able to do them fairly quickly. Here, 7x minus 2y, so you're going to square the 7x, so that'd be 49x. Take your negative 2y, square that, so that's going to be 4y squared. Combine, so here you have 14, negative 14, x, y, and then you're going to then double that, so that's going to be a negative 28x, y. Okay, so I said in the beginning that we had 3 rules. Here's our third rule. The third rule looks like this. You have 2 quantities, one of them with a plus sign, the other with a minus sign. So this one, if you would distribute it out, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, you would see you get a squared minus ab plus ab minus b squared. So your middle term here, one is a positive, one's a negative, that gets eliminated, so then you're just left with a squared minus b squared. So to look at an example, you should notice that it's the same, except one's a plus and one's a minus. So then come over here, square your first term, put a minus, square your 11, and don't worry about your middle term because you know your middle term is going to end up being 0. So you have x squared minus 121. Next example, you have x squared plus 8 and x squared minus 8, so you're going to square the x squared, which will give you x to the 4th, square the 8, make sure that it is a minus sign in between, so you get x to the 4th minus 64. And then a final example, you have x cubed minus 6 and x cubed plus 6, and you'll notice that in all the other examples the plus sign came first. It doesn't matter. These can be interchanged, so just as long as one's a plus and one is a minus. So then if you square x cubed, you're going to get x to the 6th minus 36, and remember you have no middle term, and then that's your final answer. So then next, I have a worksheet for you. Go ahead and refer back to these notes. If you need any extra help, you can always go into Khan Academy. It may not be called special cases. They may have a different term for it, but if you do just a search, I'm sure you'd be able to find something.